Wow, what a beautiful song right there by Kestin Mbogo, Satisfy. And I think it's very much in line with what we were sharing earlier on. Only Him can satisfy our hearts.
Yep.
And we all gotta stay close to Him. As we draw near to Him, He will also draw near to us. So at this moment, we'd love to get into the newspapers. This is Hope at Dawn. My name is Beatrice Nudi.
And my name is George Gishuru. And we start off with the Daily Nation. And they go with the headline, States 39 billion shillings legal fees scam. Law Society of Kenya president backs advocates' fees as lawyers head to the polls next month. Now, a court order barring public agencies from hiring private law firms has revived the debate on huge legal fees the government incurs despite employing state lawyers. It's a story that is covered on page 4 and page 5, and 30 billion shillings is the amount counties have spent on legal representation, according to Controller of Budget report for 2023-2024 financial year. 8.5 billion shillings. This is the amount spent by government to pay law firms, according to Controller of Budget report for 2023-24 financial year. Now, 4.9 billion. Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission, they paid 4.9 billion, 243 million Kenya Airports Authority, and 142 million Health Ministry to defend shark cases. 142 million. Yeah, that is legal fees. But remember, indeed, as the question is being asked, the government has the state lawyers. So what usually do these state lawyers do? Why then do we hire them? Why do we have do we give them salaries and all, whereas we can hire private law firms to defend us in case? So it's better we choose one.
We choose one.
Choose one. Then what counties owe law firms? Nairobi tops with 21.3 billion. That's the amount they owe law firms. 21.3 billion. Then followed by Machakos, 1.5 billion. And then the lowest is Lamu. They owe law firms 6 million shillings as well. So you can read that story on the front page and also on pages 4 and 5 inside the Daily Nation. And still on the front page, HELB funding strain as more learners qualify for university. The government is in a dilemma, and following the release of the 2025 Kenya Certificate of Secondary Education exam results, the number of students eligible for university admission has risen to 270,715, up from 246,000 who qualified in 2024. Now, the Higher Education Loans Board estimates about 90% of these students will apply for loans, putting more pressure on a tight budget, even as the agency targets to recover 6 billion shillings this year. That story is covered on page 7 inside the Daily Nation. Then the business section, economy, 204 billion shillings from sale of Safaricom shares to fund capital projects. Treasury is planning to spend money raised from the partial sale of government shares in Safaricom exclusively on infrastructure projects. You can read that story. It's covered on page 8. Then I see here Ruto's plan to regain support in Mount Kenya. Now, buoyed by the outcome of the November 27 by-elections, President Ruto has stepped up his political incursion into Mount Kenya after months of keeping off. The ruling party recently held grassroots elections in the region, with the president currently inspecting projects. You can read that. It's covered on page 10 inside the Daily Nation. And then Auditor General Gathongo says can't trace 20 billion shillings affordable housing loan. So the controller, the Auditor General cannot trace 20 billion of the affordable housing loan. You read that also. It's captured inside the Daily Nation. And I think that is what is currently being reported on the front page of the Nation.
Wow, interesting. And I'm just stuck here on X because there are some top stories that are gaining a lot of traction.
All right.
And I think there's one that is worth talking about. Kenyan preacher's followers claim HIV miracles at crusade, prompting health probe. This is interesting. So, during the December 31st, 2025 crossover prayers at Menengai grounds, we are seeing here that there were over 30 cures. This is of course Prophet Owor's ministry. It goes ahead to say that supporters posted before and after results for patients like Jane Gieri and Irina Kinyi, celebrating with hashtags when HIV is healed. So Kenyan health officials, including Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale, ordered investigations on January the 4th, warning against unverified claims that could harm ARV adherence, while NASCOP stresses HIV has no cure. So this is quite interesting.
Quite interesting.
Over 30 people coming out to say, you know what,
I'm healed.
I'm healed. And the results are showing I'm healed. So what do I do with this information?
Share.
Sharing. And it was a whole thing, you know. Even the hashtag, Jesus deletes HIV and all that. So it's, I'm curious to probe deeper into that. And how true that is.
Oh, yes.
Hey, but it's interesting. I'm just looking at the streets here of X, and of course it's a big story. Even doctors were moving and saying they have seen indeed. No, we can't trace it. So what do we do about it? Of course, there are many people asking, was this staged? You know, how can we truly know that it is true?
Was it valid?
Is it valid? And at the same time, don't we believe that
in miracles
Jesus can actually heal and delete HIV? You know? So, I mean, it's a lot of conversations there in the Christian spaces, but have a look at it, and it's important to discern. I think, as Jesus said, always test every spirit. You know, if at all a prophet comes and does not claim that indeed Jesus came in the flesh, that automatically tells you that that's a false prophet. So it's a matter of verifying, testing the spirit, not just moving with every wave of miracles. And I saw it to stand out because we're talking about miracles today. Because there are people who maybe focus so much on that and they miss out on spiritual maturity. So I'm just here for what God can do for me, but I really don't have a relationship. It's simply about what he did and how I can share it with people. But deep down, we are so far away from him. So I think it's worth thinking about and just reflecting on. But just looking at the Standard, the story at the top page is Ruto reality check. Goes ahead to say President William Ruto's hold on Mount Kenya is weakening. His climb up the mountain is getting slippery. They've even put a mountain behind his picture to show anapanda mlima.
The graphics people.
Anasema his latest tour, where only 2 governors out of 11 joined him to launch projects, is a pointer to a switch in allegiance. It goes ahead to say, once drawing massive organic crowds, he now depends on allies to mobilize supporters and influence projects. So many local leaders fear backlash over unpopular policies and his fallout with former Deputy Rigathi Gachagua. So analysts warn with 2027 approaching, Mount Kenya politicians are recalculating support, leaving Ruto's one solid base increasingly fragile. So this is quite interesting because now there's a battle here with the former Vice President Rigathi Gachagua, because anytime he goes there, he's only speaking negative about someone he once spoke of very positive. Ndio maana unaambiwanga hii siasa usiweke kwa roho, by the way. Don't put it in your
They usually say there are no permanent friends or permanent enemies in politics.
Or permanent enemies. I like that. Because they can start off as enemies.
My friend, by the time they are finishing the journey.
Come have dinner. Let's catch up this thing. That was for the show.
Exactly.
For the drama. Oh my goodness. We have to be discerning. But anyway, that's it for the Standard.
Okay, quickly, the Business Daily. Telcos face higher fines as CA sets service quality at 90%. So regulator increases compliance threshold to 90% from current 80%. Proposed framework also introduces county level assessment investments. And then jitters hit Kenyan cross-border traders as Uganda heads to the ballot tomorrow. And so traders in Kenya are anticipating losses from supply chain disruptions in the next few days as Uganda heads to a general election on Thursday amid uncertainty in the wake of travel advisories issued by some Western nations, including the US. And then Kenya investments fall amid tight global capital flows. CBK's January bond sale hit by a system glitch. And then in the debate about Kenya's transformation dream, it is easy to forget where we are coming from and the distance already traveled. That is Nderito Mureithi, the KRA board chair, in an article on page 9. And no easy visa, no easy life. Young Kenyans navigate education and work in USA. That is on the live segment inside the Business Daily.
Okay, and I also see something here before we end this segment. Uganda shuts down internet
Eish.
ahead of polls on Thursday, tomorrow.
So they are learning from their sisters
Yeah,
in
wamezima.
Tanzania. Yeah.
Where we
Yeah.
can only spectate and watch
Yep.
as we pray for our own, which is, let's not
Ukiona
tusiwacheke.
wanasemanga aje wahenga. Ukiona cha mwenzio kimefanya nini? Kimenyolewa.
Chako tia maji. Wati ukiona cha mwenzako kimenyolewa, chako tia maji.
Ndio hivyo.
I wonder what that
I
means.
also wonder.
Why you put, mbona unatia maji?
Yeah.
Anyway.
To prepare.
Oh,
Kwa sababu pia kitanyolewa.
so
Yes.
kwani ukinyolewa unapakanga maji?
So that usiumie sana.
Okay. All right. Mi wanipaki, so I don't know.
Nina wembe, sina mashine.
Kama
Kunyolewa
wanatumia
na wembe.
wembe. Na we ulijua aje?
Mimi. Unaangazia tu mambo wale wananyolewa.
Anyway, that's it for our newspaper review. Let's take a short break as we look at the video of the day. When we come back, we'll talk about it.
Yeah.